Hello, air signs. Princess India here. My apologies for the tardiness of your readings, but y'all already know my ordeal. If you're on the waiting list, be expecting an email from me today because I've given up. I was trying the whole booking system thing, and it's not gonna work. So I just have to resort back to my old system, and it's just going to be questions. So because I was trying to set everything up to where I could do my whole little Skype reading thing, but that's just not going to happen right now. So we're just going to go back to the old way, And the Death Reverse card fell out. So clearly there's a cycle not ending. I'm ending one today. But anyway, so I'm going to do Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So I'm going to start with an overall energy for you all. Or do I just want to go straight in? You know what? Bump it. I'm not even going to look at an overall energy. I'm just going to go straight in. So we're going to start with Gemini. Why not? But, yeah. So just be looking for the email. Everything else y'all know is in the description box below this video. So Spirit, please give me clear and direct guidance for Geminis. I'm going to go ahead and timestamp this. I'm going to do Gemini, then Libra, then Aquarius. And this is just a general read for the end of February. Give me clear and direct guidance for Gemini, please, Spirit. Anything they need to know, anything of utmost importance, let that come to the forefront in this here reading, Spirit. My thank you in advance. All right. All right. So we're going to look at your current situation, your challenge, past influences, what's before you, what's above you, and what is below you, Gemini. So, central energy for Geminis. Okay, if my nails will let me pick up the card, we'd be great. Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. This is challenged by the Tower. Interesting. Wow, that's big. Okay. This is interesting. Okay, so what it's looking like to me, the main issue going into March is I feel like Geminis, and whether this is, because with this being general, we're just going to look at what energies come out, but I mean, this could literally be for romantic life, or it could be for any other facet of your life, work, what have you. But it's looking like to me that you guys were positive and optimistic about something or someone or a situation. So it's more or less, I want to say it like this. I want to say following the recipe, right? Like following the recipe to the T, right? So it's almost like if I'm baking a cake, put everything in there, follow the directions, put it in the oven, and like the cake isn't rising type of deal. And I feel like the issue with that, I feel like it's kind of a disoriented feeling. Because before I sat down to do this reading, and I was like, great, because I'm doing air signs, so it's 3 different signs. So I really wasn't sure who this feeling was for, but it's like I had a feeling of like unease. But seeing the Tower here, that would make sense to me for Gemini, because it's almost like investing into something or a person. Almost like if you think about it, like a company going bust or something. Like if you... it's like leaving, like if you left a job like you really liked, right? Or something that you were comfortable with. And I don't know, say a friend was doing a startup company or something of the sort. And like you left stability to, follow or assist somebody with this vision type of thing. Or if it's a relationship, it's like spending a lot of time into a relationship, thank you, Spirit. Because I was like, so a even better idea of this, and I think it could be related anyway, would more or less be if you were married for 20 years, you spent a bunch of money to go to counseling, right? And you guys are in counseling for 6 months, and you're feeling like the sacrifice of paying, hundreds of dollars a month and stuff like that is going to assist you, and suddenly it's just over. Like your spouse just suddenly says like, I don't want to do this anymore, right? So it's that feeling of like investing into something in hopes of getting a return, and suddenly it's over. Now the past influence we have is the Justice in reverse. Then your below energy, wow, we have Temperance in reverse. Jeez Louise. Your above energy is the Empress reverse. Jimmies, what is going on? And then going forward, we have the Seven of Wands. Wow. That's 4 major arcana, man. This almost feels like something unfair that happened. It's like, honestly, how I'm seeing this, Gems, is like, okay, it's almost like sowing seeds into the wrong garden is the best way that I could put it. And it may not seem like it right now, because with seeing all of these major arcanas, this is telling me that this is something that's divinely orchestrated, right? So even though it may not feel like it or look like it right now, it's like everything is all topsy-turvy, because this is Spirit trying to lead you into the right direction. And the right direction that you're being led into is one in which you'd be standing in your truth. So hypothetically, if this is a relationship, it's like, say you stayed because, like, okay, let's say you really weren't happy with your marriage partner, because that's just the easiest scenario that's coming to me right now. But you weren't happy in the marriage, but it's like you stay because that's what you're supposed to do. It's a should, ought, supposed to, right? So it's kind of like more of a moral thing than it is with an emotionally aligned type of thing, right? So, but it's more or less like there was already something unfair that happened. So say hypothetically you're in this marriage, and the only reason why you're staying is because you feel morally obligated to, and say the partner cheats, past tense, and you're still putting time, effort, and energy into it to try to fix it. But it's like, I get the sense that whatever this is, whether it's a company or, a friendship, what have you, this situation was already broken. It was already an inequality that existed there. It was already not in your highest good. It was already like the sacrifices that you made in the direction of it just were not worth it, right? But you were still pushing for it because it's a moral obligation, like a commitment. It's what I'm supposed to do. That's the right thing to do. And it's the right thing to do, but it's not the right thing for you, right? So it's almost like when this broke down, or like this cycle ended, it's almost as if still continuing on past the expiration date. And now it's to the point, because I don't feel like your intentions are malicious or anything. It's like, I honestly believe that it's like you're doing this out of the kindness of your heart because you feel like it's what you're supposed to do, but it's just not what's best for you. So it may be right for everyone else, so say if it's like a family tradition type of thing, it's like your family is cool with the fact that you're trying to save the marriage, right? But you're not. And the thing that I feel like the byproduct of this is, I feel like within yourself, it's a feeling of imbalance, of feeling off kilter, feeling lost, on shaky ground. You're feeling stagnant. You're not feeling fruitful. You're not feeling abundant. There's like a lot of confusion, And I feel like a lot of these things have been signs and synchronicities that you've witnessed in your life. But I feel like all of the signs you've been getting, it's almost as if you've been overlooking them because you knew you were doing the right thing, right? So with this tower that's happening, right? And this isn't something that's going to happen. Like, this is something that's going on present tense. So the thing is that this tower is crumbling for you to be able to see the truth about this situation, like to see what it is that's really actually going on here, right? And then going forward with the Seven of Wands, it's almost like I'm seeing this as this tower is going to remove the scales from your eyes, right? Because it's almost like you've been looking at the situation through rose-colored glasses. And the tower coming down is going to give you the ability to see everything for what it actually is in its purest state. And you seeing that you've been sewing into something that has not been sewing back into you, right? And it's going to give you the opportunity to see your truth, to see what it is that you stand for, what it is that you really wanted before you were blinded by the should, oughts, and supposed tos, right? It's at the bottom of the deck. Oh, man, yeah. At the bottom of the deck is the Eight of Swords in the reverse. So that means you're coming out of this mental prison. It's like legit, y'all. I'm going to pull y'all an oracle. My goodness. But this is literally, it's being trapped by obligation. But I mean, look at how this lady looks. It's like, I can't even find the words for it. It's like being just completely depleted. Like almost completely like sucked dry of your life force. Like, I have tried everything here. And we have the Cardinal card. It says, the polarities of your spiritual pursuits and physical pleasures are out of balance. Temperance in reverse. So do whatever is necessary to bring them back into equilibrium. Yeah, man, this tower is probably the best thing that could ever possibly happen to you. Because I feel the dedication that I feel to whatever this is for you guys is heavy. And I honestly don't think it's almost looking to me as if you guys would never have gotten out of this lest there been divine intervention. So whether this is a relationship, a marriage, a job, a friendship, family situation, what have you, this has been the detriment of you. Because I'm seeing all of these cards in reverse, the Empress, the Justice, and Temperance. It's like in the upright, all of these things would be saying it's like you're going into the right place that's going to be extremely beneficial, but it's almost as if the situation has been bringing you backwards. And I really feel this heavy sense that it's like you guys not seeing it. It's almost as if everyone around you could see it, but it's like you not being able to see it because, you're doing the right thing, Because with the Eight of Swords on the Rider-Waite, it's the girl with the swords and the blindfold and stuff. So it's almost being held prisoner and not even aware that you're prisoner, And this comes to, it interrelates with the weekly reading that I did for the collective for this week. As I was talking about how this week a lot of us are going to be coming to realizations that, and I use the Five of Pentacles as an example, but coming to realizations that, we've been locked outside of the church and left out in the cold, but we've always possessed the keys. So it's like we inadvertently locked ourselves out of the church. And it's different reasons for everyone. But I'm seeing it's more or less a commitment that in the bigger scheme of things seems to be the right thing to do, but it's just not the right thing for Geminis. Okay? So now I'm going to move on to Libras. 1444. I probably should write that down just to make the time stamping a little easier. 1444. Okay. Okay, Spirit, can I get clear and direct guidance for Libras for the end of February going into March, please, Spirit? Anything that they need to know? Anything of utmost importance? I feel like I forgot the full moon is tomorrow. It's like the full moon always brings light to things that we can't see. So that very well may be why that's happening now. Clear and direct guidance for Libra, please, Spirit. I thank you in advance. Okay. Central energy challenge, past influence, what's before you, what's above you, and what's below you, Libra. So central energy, oh my gosh, with the nails. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. This is challenged by, oh wow, the Ace of Wands. Awesome. Okay. So the feeling that I get first for Libras is that you're feeling a sense of stability, a sense of personal accomplishment. And I feel like this is more or less ignited by this Ace of Wands. So it's like this opportunity that's being offered. And the feeling I get is really, it's almost like being able to, because I keep getting this feeling of like being like with your head down almost. So almost like having your head down and working really hard and not really looking at what's going on around you, like being focused on cultivating this 9 of Pentacles. But it's like this opportunity coming in is allowing you to pick your head up and finally see like the silver lining or the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. In your past, we have the Judgment card. So this is very much an alignment for you guys. It's like seeing Judgment here. This says to me that this is like your time. It's like this is something that's been long overdue. And partly a lot of this has to do with you guys kind of drawing this in because it's getting into like similar to like how I said for Gemini of like Spirit helping them get in alignment with what's their truth. It's almost as if Libra made the decision to align with your truth or a new belief system or what have you, new job, whatever, whether it's something tangible or intangible. And it's almost as if Spirit met you halfway. It's like the moment that you got serious, Spirit was like, okay, you're serious. And that's what I feel like this Ace of Wands is the manifestation of. So this to you is like the sign of like, okay, now it's time. Your below energy is the World. That's very true then. And above, we have the Hanged Man in reverse. This is really good, man. And again, we have 3 major arcanas. That's extra dope. With the World in your below energy, when I look at this, I hear that song by Jill Scott, Living My Life Like It's Golden. You know what I mean? It's almost as if just with this offer, this opportunity that's being given to you guys, it's an ace, which is a good thing. But it's like, I feel like you guys have literally, like, almost within yourself, like, you see this as an ace. Like, you see that this is like a little nugget, but you're seeing that nugget as like the full gusto. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like you guys have been in I don't want to say permanent, but because I'm feeling a long time. Because I don't want to say stagnation. It's just almost as if things have been on pause for an extended period. So, but I feel like the thing that kept you pushing was like aiming for the 10 of Pentacles, right? So it's like I'm keeping my head down and I'm putting energy into this. But I feel like past tense, there was some sort of shift that happened. And this very well could be like finding a new spiritual belief system. So it could be that, like hypothetically, it could be a Libra who went through life, you know, believing like all I have to do is work hard to obtain. And then coming to a place in life where it's like, wow, it's like I've worked really hard and I still haven't gotten what I wanted, and kind of having like a quarter life crisis, so to speak, and finding some type of belief system or faith system. And that doesn't necessarily have to be like, you know, religious, but I mean, it could be yoga, you know what I mean? It could be a meditation practice. It could be anything. Or listening to motivational videos on YouTube every morning, anything along those lines. But it's just finding something of a spiritual nature to align with, and that kind of being the other 50% of what was missing in your life. And it kind of made this period of being on pause doable, because it's like having faith that things were going to work out. So now at the first sign of it, you guys are knowing like, okay, this is it for me. And for those of you who may not have known that this was happening, it's letting you know that, you know, what it is you've been working for and what you've been desiring, or even if it's a new cycle turning over in your life that's happening and it's here. Now going forward, we have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So we can look at this a couple of ways. Look at the bottom of y'all's deck. Oh, goodness. We got the 9 of Swords at the bottom of your deck. This is a forewarning, my dear. Let me clarify with another deck just to be sure before I say anything. Because with your overall... Oh, Lord. Okay, we have the Hierophant. Here's the thing. This is a heads up. Don't lose sight of what you've done to get here. Okay? Because I feel like with this 9 of Swords, as your overall is pretty much saying, it's old fears coming in, you know? And it's almost like a self-sabotatory energy. Like you've worked to get to this point, and now that you're like at the cusp of it, you know what I mean? It's like all of those fears will suddenly come up, like maybe picking yourself apart, or, you know, instantly thinking this isn't gonna work, or this never works out for me, or something of the sort. And this also takes me back to the weekly reading. So if you guys have not watched that, I would definitely suggest it, because it's the thing that needs to be released is like the scabs or wounding from past disappointments, right? So it's like what I'm seeing for Libras is you guys are where you need to be. You are co-creating with spirit. Like this is your time. But I feel like if you guys aren't careful, it's like this Hierophant with this 9 of Swords. Oh my gosh, can I show it to you? There we go. This Hierophant with this 9 of Swords. It's almost like all of those false core beliefs coming back that could potentially halt all of the work that you guys have been putting in, and like put a pause on that. You know what I mean? So the whole key is here. You've done the work. This is your time. Believe it, receive it, align with it, do your thug fizzle. The bottom of this deck, you got the 3 of Cups. So it is celebration time. Don't allow false core beliefs about the past, or even memories or nightmares even of past disappointments to take you guys off course, okay? So now my Aquarius. Should I pull an oracle for y'all? That would be fair if I did, huh? Can I get an oracle card for Libra? Oh, y'all got 2. First one is Weasel. It says, be silent, pay attention, and simply observe with your eyes, ears, and physical feelings what is happening inside and all around you. Walrus. Remain vigilant about the current situation. Pay attention to signs and omens and let them dictate your choices. So the whole thing is here, guys, this illusionary, that's not real, right? So it's more or less get out of your head. If you find yourself falling into a place of fear, right? Because I think typically how I would see this, I would look at it more or less in the reverse. Like say hypothetically, if stuff isn't working out for someone, it's like pay attention to, you know, your dreams or, you know, number synchronicities or something of the sort. But I'm seeing this more in the reverse of making it more tangible, in the sense that you've done the work. You've made the changes necessary. The opportunity is here, right? Don't allow something that's intangible, which would be thoughts and fears, to deter you away from what's actually happening. And it's like, be aware of where it's coming from. Like with the Weasel card, it's like, be present in the moment and see what it is that's stirring this stuff up, because that's your way of revealing a false core belief to yourself. So it's finding out what the origin of that is. Where did this come from? You know what I mean? Of kind of questioning that. So it's like, if you were to have a false core belief of like, you know, stuff like this doesn't happen to people like me. And that's the fear that comes up, and it's like, it makes you want to stop. It's like, no, I can't take this chance because stuff like this doesn't happen for people like me. And it's like, well, who said that? You know what I mean? And just having this conversation with yourself. Who said that? How do I know that that's true? And just kind of interrogating it. So not allowing the intangible to influence what it is you're actually seeing. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, I'm sure y'all will tell me. All right. Now for Aquarius 2613. Yay. All right. Aquarius. Spirit, please give me clear and direct guidance for my Aquarius, please. Spirit. Anything they need to know, anything of utmost importance. Please give me the ability to interpret those messages for my Aquarius people. Please, Spirit. I thank you in advance. All right. Aquarius. Whoa. Central energy. Challenge, past influence. What's before you? What's above you? And what is below you? All right. Central energy for my Aquarius. We have the Knave of Pentacles in reverse. You waiting on something. You waiting on something. The challenge is the Two of Swords. Interesting. Let me tell you something. Oh gosh, your disc is almost full. We don't need this in our life. Spirits, better record. Please. Well, I'm not going to say better. Please let it record. Because I'm going to be so upset if it doesn't. Anyway. So with the Two of Swords here, guys, I can tell you already, the thing that you're waiting on is yourself. Right? With the Two of Swords, there's a sense of indecision here, or stagnation, feeling stuck. Whenever you're feeling a sense of stagnation or like things aren't moving, you know what I mean? It's because you haven't made an indefinite decision, right? It's almost like, I don't want to go too deep into that, but it's, because I was thinking about this earlier today. I was thinking about like the interesting thing between pages and knights is the fact that they're both extremists, right? But it's like the pages are extremists in idealism, right? And the knights are extremists in action. So with each of them being representative of their element, it's like, oh, and I just heard pipe dreaming. You know what I mean? It's like having a vision, but not, and I talked about this in the weekly reading too. It's like having this idealization, but not actually doing anything to put a foot down. So it's almost like having one foot in and one foot out, and there needing to be a decision made to either be all in or all out. And it's more or less like what I feel the need to say, which is kind of strange, is like, if you guys were waiting on someone or were under the impression that someone was going to, you know, maybe, I don't want to say like take it off of your hands, but if you were waiting for like a sign or for another person, It's like this is more or less a statement that this is a decision that Aquarius has to make. I don't know what that's about. I pray that that makes sense. Past tense, we have the Ten of Wands, releasing burdens. Below, oh wow, we have the Three of Swords. Man, these readings. Above, we have the Hierophant in reverse. Wow. And before you, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Whew. This energy, it's reminding me theme-wise of Geminis. It's almost having hope in or idealizing a less than stellar situation. So it's almost like an opportunity, and that's how it sounds like Gemini to me. It's like the cycle is over and it's an opportunity to move forward, but it's kind of like still hanging on to something past its expiration date, but it's like with the best intentions. And this very well could be it could be a marriage, and it could be a marriage to an earth sign person. It could be a Taurus, but it could also be a Capricorn or a Virgo, because I'm saying that because the Hierophant is up here. But it's like, it's something that's causing you a great deal of grief. And it's almost as if past tense, it's like having the opportunity to let all of this go. Or maybe even say if it was like say if it was a separation, hypothetically, right? So say it's like two people who are, I don't know why marriage is coming up so much. But if it was like a marriage and the people separated, it's like that was an opportunity for Aquarius to release the burden. But it's almost as if Aquarius is choosing to be held back. But now I feel like I have to clarify when I'm saying that. Me, from like an outside view, would say that it's making a decision, because it's like indecision by default is a decision, because it's choosing to not make a decision, right? But I think with the purest intention, it's waiting on like a sign, or for things to change, or for someone to come to their senses, right? So it's a choosing to remain still with the best intentions, even though it hurts, right? But it's because of like a commitment, or again, like I said, with Gemini, a belief system. And it was the same thing with Libra too. It's like the theme here is belief systems. Even though it's not necessarily serving you, it's choosing to stay like on the fence, ambivalent, with the best intentions is what I want to say. So even though I would see it as a choice, I feel the Aquarius person is seeing it as doing the right thing again, right? So going back to the scenario, it would be being married, separating, and instead of choosing to start dating and moving on with other people, it's kind of like hypothetically remaining in prayer and trusting, because, you know, we're married, we love each other, that the person's going to come around, right? But the thing that I'm seeing here is with the King of Pentacles is that this person, and I can say this two ways, it's like, if this isn't involving a person and this is just circumstantial, so say hypothetically, if this is a job, it's like having an opportunity to sever ties with this company, but choosing to wait it out, even though it's like it's causing me grief and sorrow, even though it's not in alignment with my highest truth about myself or desires or what have you. It's choosing to stay to wait it out, you know, like hoping that things just kind of iron themselves out. but it's like that's harming you in the long run if this isn't involving another person. Because it's preventing you from growth or being in alignment. Or if you, I don't know why I feel the need to say this, but if you've never known what it was like to have something that was in alignment with you. So say hypothetically, if it's like never working a job that you actually like, it's like, I just work this job to get a paycheck type of deal. It's preventing you from ever knowing what it's like to ever have something in alignment with you or to be financially stable. It's just kind of being in this paycheck to paycheck type of situation, accepting that as like my lot in life, right? And just waiting it out until things kind of, iron themselves out. For others of you where this involves a person, it's like this person's intentions aren't good. It's like connection with this person has been burdensome, right? But it's like whatever belief in that's why I said this reminds me a lot of Geminis. I don't know if this is an Aquarius, a Gemini with Aquarius in a chart, or Gemini, whatever the case may be, like whatever the slippy sloppy is, it's one of those situations that's not serving your highest good. And it's more or less saying like, you're free to go. Like you don't have to, it's like the only proof that you really need that the situation isn't in alignment with you is the unfruitfulness, the burden that you're feeling, or the disjointedness or out of alignment that you're feeling, or oppression, sadness, depression, anything within that realm that you're feeling is sign enough to know that this isn't for you. So it's almost as if I'm seeing this like, it's almost like spirit backing you into a corner and making a situation that you're in. And I want to keep stressing with purest intentions, because I feel like you really, like you're trying to do the right thing or what you believe is right. But it's almost as if you're in like I'm hearing two different things. It's like being backed into a corner, or like being in a situation to where the temperature is being turned up so high to the point that it's becoming unbearable. And that's like spirit's way of trying to get your attention. So as opposed to with Gemini, with it being like a tower and everything like poof, right? It's like with Aquarius, it's like like, I don't even know what you would call that. It's almost like a slow, I don't even know what you would call that. I don't even know what I'm seeing, but it's like a slow increase in temperature. Oh, that's a really bad example. Ooh. Okay, so this is the only thing I can think of. If you think of like the Salem witch trials and they had thumb screws, it's kind of like that. It's like ask you a question and then twist it, and then you still don't give the right answer. And it's like increasing the pressure over time to make it completely and utmostly unbearable for you to say, okay, that's enough, right? The bottom of you guys' deck is the Ace of Swords. So, yeah. I totally did not realize before I started these that the full moon is tomorrow. So I feel like all of these readings are like this because it's the full moon energy of revealing things that have been in the dark. So with the Ace of Swords, I feel like there's a truth that's being revealed here. And I feel like what I just described is what Aquarius is going to be realizing, if you haven't already. Because I don't really feel like this is anything I'm saying that you guys haven't thought before. I just feel like it's a sense of almost saying like, I'm going to believe the best in this situation, regardless. And that's why I keep saying with the purest intention. Because I don't feel like you guys are being in denial or delusional. It's almost as if this is a battle between like societal truths in your truth. And it's like maybe for the first time in ever, seeing that there's a stark difference between the two. And also realizing that you have the ability, the power, and the authority to choose to not align with that tradition or truth. And seeing how it became second nature to self-deny. It's like, this doesn't feel good to me, but it's like life is not supposed to feel good. It's like one of those false beliefs, you know? It's like, you're not supposed to be happy. It's like, what you're supposed to do is provide for your family. What you're supposed to do is go to work every day, get your money, and take care of your family. And I'm feeling that more like for a male, right? So it's like, it's not about your dreams or about your goals. And now I'm thinking about Fantasia in her Lifetime movie. Because I know that was like, that moved me. Like when she was pregnant, or when her mom and her grandmother found out that she was pregnant, they said, like, you know, it's not, you don't have dreams because you're a parent now. It's like, it's not about your dreams. Now your life is about the child, right? So it's like one of those beliefs of like, oh, I'm not supposed to be happy. Like, I'm not supposed to have dreams. It's like, I'm supposed to feel broken because, you know, I can't follow my dreams because I'm XYZ, whatever that may be for you. That's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting. But it's almost like this truth that's coming out with the Ace of Swords is more or less that, and not saying what it is, but I feel like the truth is going to be coming out of where you see yourself in alignment with that particular belief and how you feel that's serving you or it isn't, if that makes sense. Spirit, can I get one oracle for Aquarius 2? All right, first we have Wolverine, and it says, you're a lot tougher than you think you are. Yes, you are. And Shark, and it says, trust your instincts to discern the truth of the situation. Wow. So if there's a fear that's related with this, like say if everything I've described, if you guys already know this, and the reason why you guys chose to be in this like Two of Swords position, why you're kind of on the fence about it, it's like this is encouraging you to know that you have a lot more strength than you think you do. Whatever this is, you guys can handle it. Whatever you've experienced, you can overcome it, right? You can make it through this, especially if this is like a situation with a person that's a little oppressive, you know? Or it's thinking like, you know, if I leave this job, will I find another job? It's like you have everything within yourself to be able to handle this and to move forward. But it's a need to trust yourself and to trust your judgment. And I feel like that may really be what the root problem is here, of where that ambivalence is coming from. Because it's like, it's a lack of trust in the self, either in your skills, in your ability to self-sustain, you know, it's like a little bit of insecurity, but this is more or less a message saying that you can do this. Like you have everything within you to be able to handle this. So not to doubt yourself or second guess yourself or think that you're not equipped to align with your highest truth, right? Whew, man, these were heavy. But air signs, that has been your end of February reading. The way that these feel, I feel like y'all are probably going to be hearing from me again before the end of the month, because these were interesting. Maybe after the full moon. But anyway, I love your face, and I will see you guys sooner than later. Deuces.